Some renovations go smoothly, others become disasters that test every skill you developed over 15 years in construction. The challenger ones teach you the most. I've completed well over 500 renovations in Houston. Most were straightforward, but about 20 of them nearly broke me and taught me everything I know about problem solving, client management, and business survival. These weren't just difficult projects, they were projects where everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Where I had to choose between losing money or losing my reputation, where I learned lessons that no textbook or training program could ever teach me. I'm going to share the biggest lessons from my most challenging renovations because these hard-won insights will save you from making the same expensive mistakes I made. The project, a simple kitchen remodel in a 1960s ranch-style house, should have taken 6 weeks and generated about $15,000 in profit. Week 2, we removed the kitchen floor and discovered the foundation had settled 3 inches. The entire kitchen was sloping towards the back wall, cabinets wouldn't sit level, appliances wouldn't fit properly, and the floor was a disaster. The homeowner insisted we just make it work, but you can't build quality on a broken foundation. I had to stop work, bring in a structural engineer, and present the family with hard choices. Fix the foundation properly for another $25,000 or accept a kitchen that would never look or function the right way. What I learned was always investigate thoroughly before starting any renovation. What looks like a simple project can hide expensive structural problems. Now what I do in any time it looks like it's going to be a complex project is complex inspections, not just the simple ones. Round 2, the project. Bathroom addition that the previous owner had built without permits. Client wanted us to finish it properly and get permitted after the fact. Seemed straightforward until the inspector arrived. The addition violated setback requirements, didn't meet current electrical codes, and had plumbing that wasn't up to standard. The city gave us 2 choices: tear it down completely or bring everything up to the current code, which meant tearing down most of the work anyway. What should have been a $20,000 finish became $45,000 rebuild. The client was furious, but there was no other legal options. Lesson learned. Never try to fix unpermitted work someone else did without understanding the full scope of what it requires. Now I require full permit research before taking on any project involving previous unpermitted work. Round 3, the project, a master bathroom remodel with a client who had just a few small ideas during construction. It started with replacing tile and fixtures. Then it morphed into they wanted to move the shower. Then expanding the entire bathroom into an adjacent closet. They upgrade all the plumbing throughout the house. Each change seemed reasonable individually, but collectively, they turned what was a $25,000 bathroom into a $65,000 whole house plumbing upgrade. The client was shocked by the final cost, even though they had approved each change order individually. They felt like I had taken advantage of them, even though everything was documented. Lesson learned. Scope creep kills relationships, even when it's properly documented. Because if we'd known up front what the total scope of the project was, it'd have been a lot easier and a lot cheaper for the client because we could have done things in a logical order. So key takeaway, make sure you always document. Round 4, the project, whole house renovation where I hired a new tile installer to save money on labor cost. His bid was 30% lower than the regular guy and his portfolio looked good. Seemed like a smart business decision. Week 3, I discovered he's been cutting corners everywhere. Uneven tile lines, improper waterproofing, adhesive applied incorrectly. The work looked okay from a distance, but was fundamentally flawed. I had to fire him mid-project and bring my regular installer to tear out and redo everything. Cost me $18,000 in material and labor plus 3 weeks of delays. Lesson learned. Cheap labor is expensive labor. Now I only work with subcontractors I know and trust, even if they cost me more up front. Quality relationships are worth premium. We have a saying, pay right or pay twice. Round 5, the project, kitchen renovation where the husband and wife had completely different visions, but didn't communicate this to me or each other. He wanted a modern and simple kitchen. She wanted a traditional ornate kitchen. I was getting conflicting direction from both of them throughout the entire project. Midway through, they had a massive fight about the cabinet style. Work stopped for 2 weeks while they figured out what it was they actually wanted. The project that should have taken 8 weeks took 14 weeks. The stress nearly ended their marriage and definitely damaged my relationship with both of them. Lesson learned. Never assume clients are aligned on their vision. Now I require both spouses to be present for all major decisions. and both must sign all documents to keep everything in writing so they both have their signatures and an understanding of what it is that we will be doing. Round 6. The project. A whole house renovation where the clients had unrealistic expectations about what their budget could accomplish. They wanted a complete makeover for $75,000, but expected finishes and features that would cost nearly $150,000. I should have walked away, but I tried to make it work. Spent weeks value engineering solutions and finding cheaper alternatives. The results satisfied no one. Not expensive enough to be truly high-end, not cheap enough to be a good value. Clients were disappointed with the compromises. I made almost no profit because all the extra time spent trying to make an impossible budget work. Lesson learned. Don't try to fit champagne dreams into a beer budget. Now I have honest conversations about what's possible within a given budget and help clients prioritize their must-haves. Round 7. The project. Bathroom renovation that had to be completed before the client's daughter's wedding reception at their house. They gave me 6 weeks, which was tight but doable for a standard renovation. Then we discovered plumbing problems that required opening walls in adjacent bedrooms. I had 2 choices: rush to work, compromise the quality, or do it right and miss the deadline. I chose to rush, thinking I could make it work. The bathroom was finished in time, but barely. Touch-up work continued for weeks after the wedding. The stress nearly killed me, and the quality still wasn't up to my standards. Lesson learned. Never compromise quality for an artificial deadline. Now I build in buffer times in every schedule and have honest conversation about what's realistic with clients. What I realized a long time throughout this process is most of the time, the deadline that they're giving you has no real relevance to what is actually important at that time, and that they would much rather you provide a quality product than rush and provide a sub-quality product. Round 8, the project. Simple hardwood floor refinishing that revealed extensive water damage throughout the house. What looked like surface wear was actually damage from years of slow leaks. Once we started pulling up boards, we found rotted subfloor, damaged joints, and mold issues. The $8,000 floor refinish became $35,000 structural repair project. The clients didn't have budget for additional work, but the house wasn't safe to live in without it. We had to stop work while they figured out financing. The project stretched for 2 weeks to 3 months. Lesson learned. Always plan for the unexpected. Now I require a 20% contingency budget on all renovation projects and explain upfront that hidden problems are common in older houses. Every challenging project taught me something valuable about construction, business, and client relations. The key is learning from these experiences instead of just surviving them. And as always, help us out in our growing. Make sure to click the like button, subscribe below if you want to make sure you learn more information and insight from somebody who's been in the industry and how to grow your business.